Hi guys, my name is Perfection, and welcome back to another Pirate101 test run video. So I am back again. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the locations and what bosses you can get this new Polaris gear from. This is just for if you want it, because I know not many people are currently interested in it. I do hope they do change some stuff around in terms of powers or stats or epics on the gear, because a lot of them just seem like carbon copies of the tree on here. But yeah, there are some pieces I'm interested in, and I'm going to show the locations of these drops for people who may be interested in getting this new gear. If you haven't done so already, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and comment down below. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this gear guide started. Now you might be wondering why I'm here first. Well, I'm here first because it's the first boss of some of the new drops. It does seem that at times you do have to run into him for him to spawn, because he doesn't really appear over here unless you like run into his vicinity. But yeah, he has Gunslinger free, Retaliation 2. His epics depend on what class you are. He's meant to try to counter you, but he doesn't really do a good job at it, in my opinion. Especially with Overwatch 5, this battle is typically a cakewalk. Currently in test form, you can't refight this guy by going back into the room, so you do have to cabin him, but I think they will fix that in the future. Ooh, as you can see here, I just got some boots. He also draws Totems as well though. I do think he is the easiest to fight on a musket just because the class is super broken and pretty easy to play on. But you could also probably do this easily on a privy. He does take away buffs, but it's not all that crazy. Just bring some ranged units and I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. Especially if you have a ranged unit with Overwatch 5. Really for the ranged classes, it just seems like you have to keep him away from you. Alright, next we have the Ridge Cave. The Ridge Cave contains the explosive decoy and crazy musk enemies, as well as a boss that does spawn in the second fight if you wait a little. Specifically, the Outskirt patrol boss. He's a privateer boss and he's not that crazy of a boss, but he does have decent health and I guess decent epics. He does also have a charge, I believe, and he can kind of suck for melee units. And on top of that, you still have those explosive decoy penguins to deal with. But if you have anti-musk, or if you have good melee units to take those penguins out, you can be fine. But I would most definitely recommend that you do bring Oleg. Really, I brought Oleg for all my playthrough, but I found him the most useful here. This absorb right here is one of the hugest reasons why I can actually deal with these guys. So I would just have Oleg along with like an anti-musk and maybe attacker, who can also crit a lot on these musks. And even if you don't have Barry, believe me, even with him, this fight was still pretty tedious. Not as bad as it would have been without him, but it was pretty tedious. Explosive decoy does a lot of damage to those in a 3x3 radius of the person who tried to kill that person with explosive decoy. I am not gonna go in here because I already recorded gameplay, but as of now, you can actually cabin this guy. Though, however, you do have to complete the entire dungeon first, so yeah, you gotta do that. Then when you try to cabin this guy, you gotta wait 30 minutes to do so. You will know when the boss comes in when a little piece of dialogue appears, like up here in this corner right here. When he says he hears some noises, the next turn, if all the minions that you're currently fighting aren't dead, he's gonna spawn in and join the fight. So I do hope that you do have saved resources by the time the boss spawns in, because it does take him a few rounds to do so. So yeah, if you do want drops for this guy, I wouldn't finish the second fight too fast. Oh yeah, and also another note, if you do cabin the guy in the second fight, you don't have to do the first fight again. You can just do the second fight over and over again. But you have to complete the entire dungeon first, then do the cabin method on that fort that you finish the dungeon on. And now last but not least, we'll just go ahead and go up here. This last boss, or I guess last dungeon, or last fight, whatever you want to call it, the last fight of this update drops the outfits and charms. This fight is relatively annoying, but with a purge magic user, you can go ahead and get rid of the absorbs, but you have to be quick with it. You can't be slow with it. You're going to need a few attack units. Me personally, I only use El Toro because he is enough but always carries. Sometimes I do have to go in and attack one of the bears myself though. So yeah, you basically just go in, purge magic, and do ensure that your purge magic user doesn't die, because they do have full stops and they can hurt quite a bit. Just ensure that the person using purge magic is also far enough from your team to the point where your buffs won't get purged as well, because purge magic at the end of the day is still a double-edged sword, so you want to be careful with it. Do whatever you gotta do after you purge magic. Just as long as you kill everyone in that cave before the 10 rounds are up, you're good. And I should warn you, before you start farming these bosses, the drop rates do seem to be kind of abysmal at the moment. I don't know if they'll be raised. I hope they will be though, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking forward to doing these fights over and over and over again all that much. But yeah, that was my tiny guide from me. If you guys want some more videos like this, make sure to subscribe, comment down below, and like the video. And with all that out of the way, I'll go ahead and see you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.